I see you took me up on my advice after all. Can't say you made a bad choice. Speak with Hellick if you want to know more about the expedition. The Cranwins helped found the Order of the Ash. This is rather base work for one of my stature. But if rumors of this southern land are true, the Varani woman... Hellick seems to respect her. An ominous name. Naros is a troll god. If this is a place trolls...
Well, glad to see that you made it here safe and sound. Hellick's the one you'll want to speak to, though. The mage is more used to seeing women in skirts, but I've caught him leering more than a few times nonetheless. Let's hope his spellcraft is more potent than his stares. Hellick's brainchild, if you can believe it. I don't share his optimism about the loot. Made a living pillaging the ruins of old places. I'm a good enough thief. Never once been caught. Still have all the names enough to put most explorers off. Besides, what's in a name? I spent 2 years trying to make a fortune in a land. Enough of that.
Finally, we found the last person we need after all. I'm Hellick Cross. I'm leading an expedition to the land south of Dalantarth, the Teeth of Naros, and we could use another strong back. Been a mercenary for about 20 years now. Toured with the Warsworn, but didn't take quite as much pride in the work as they wanted. So I struck out on my own. You can make a fair bit of coin selling your sword to keep a farm or two safe. Not that I'll need to anymore. We're in the foothills of the Teeth right now. It's not the easiest place to reach, sheer cliffs of stone, and few passes through them. A mage is always good to have on an expedition like this, except for cash. But maybe he'll come around. So I struck out on my own. Sverri's got a fairly good head on her shoulders. She's only got eyes for gold, but there's plenty for all on this trip. When it comes to navigating ruins, there's no one I trust more. During one of my other campaigns, I chanced upon a diary of an Almain monk, Denric the Crazed. Said he found a way to the land south of Dalantarth. After reading what he found there, cities of gold, fountains of sapphires, I decided I wanted to see this land for myself. Few facts. The only record of a successful journey there was by an Almain missionary named Denric, returned half dead and maddened to hell. He claimed the southern land as home to a miraculous city, wrought of gold and trimmed with silver. Even said it floated above the earth, if you can believe it. It's hard country, damn impossible to find a pass in the mountains, but if I'm right, this cavern will take us under them. Denric was crazed, but I don't hold him a liar. I can overlook some bogeyman's tales if there's riches to be had. Can you? Because Denric wrote of more than wealth. Tales of giant men, tall as houses, that slaughter any who approach. It took weeks even to convince Cash and Sverri to join me. With a fourth, we can take a bigger haul without sharing too much of it. Then we only need to begin. I've seen to all the logistics and all the preparations for the journey. Meet us in the Southern Passage. Let's try to cover as much ground as we can. It's the cave next to camp. I heard rumors that it was filled with artifacts that none had ever seen before. strange carvings, and huge works of stone. I don't know how dangerous it is, but I advise against being too carefree inside. We should go in as a group. Stay close.
The time of deliverance is almost nigh. The teeth of Naros have gone untamed since the rocks were young, since the wind was but a child. And now, my chosen people stand on the precipice of taming this land, or succumbing to it. I thought once that none could change the stars of this world. But at last, one has come who can. Come, thou fateless one, I beckon thee.
Stay close. I don't think it's worth it to take any chances in here. If we can find a way through this cave, we should be able to make it to the teeth of Naros. Stay close. What the hell is that thing?
What is it? What is it? It looks like it's made of stone, but this stain, this is blood. This thing is flesh. I'm not going to stick around and find out what killed this thing. This whole damn place is cursed. Be gone.
Damn craven. Don't know what Cash was getting so worked up for. Just a statue somebody toppled over and got all bloody. Let the mage run to his mother. We don't need him. We don't even know if it was a corpse. Could have been a statue that an Etten decorated with some entrails or something. I can't believe that craven.
Don't bother me.
Wait a moment. I don't like the look of this hallway up ahead. This is Sverri's area of expertise. Let her take the lead here. What was that? First the mage turns coward, then Sverri dies doing the one thing she's supposed to be suited for. Is this some sort of joke? What's next? Are you going to reveal you're really just a kobold with a bad case of mange? Clearly I should be more thorough when recruiting my expeditions. Fine, let's just keep moving. We'll manage on our own from here. We keep going. Cash proved to be useless, and Sverri's not helping anyone anymore. Looks like it was always up to us. With just two of us, we'll have to try and manage as best we can. It won't be easy, but I thought something like this could happen. Come, we must make Sverri's death mean something. What in the hell were those things? I've never seen anything like them. I heard of the dangers of the southern land, but are the gods themselves conspiring against us? Damn, come on. I don't know what those things are, but I can't say I want to run into any more of them. I don't know. They were vicious things, but we've beaten them back for now. I've no wish to see if we can do it again. Come, we must make Sverri's death mean something. Hold on a moment. One of those damn beasts hit me worse than I thought. I think I need to rest for a while. Here, I'm going to wait here. Scout the passage ahead, and see if you can find a place to make camp. Will you stop fussing over me? It's not doing either of us any good for you to stay here. We need to find some place to make camp. I'll take it, but I'll wait until I really need to use it. Be a shame to waste the thing, wouldn't it? Now get going. I need to rest. Discover what you can, and come back to me. I told you, I'll be fine. I'll save the health potion you gave me for when things really get dire. Now, find a place for us to make camp. I'll be fine. Get going.
And so, after centuries, it has come to pass. The cipher has reached thy hands, Beckett. At last, my work can be completed. One who watched and waited for decades and centuries and eons, and all for this day when thou wouldst come before me. I have read the fates of this world to find thee, unfated one. Much rests on your shoulders, but I have one more burden to lay upon thy brow. Since the inception of my labors, I have always known that their fulfillment would require fate to be unbound. Such is the paradox of faith. The tapestry of fate offers no allowance for such events. Only an unfated being could complete the work I had started. So I waited, in despair and hope. And then thou came to pass. I needed thy nature, and it was created, though I had no hand in it. I see that as fate, in a way. To continue thy path through the tapestry of fate and perpetuate its sundering, I will open the way to the teeth of Naros. Seek the Primos, and thy duty will be made clear in time. Go now with my blessing. Go now with my purpose. For thou art beckoned. That which was ordained must be undone.
First we have an army of Jotun at our gates, and now this. I don't know you, little one, but you'll find no quarter here. This is still Colossi-held territory for the moment. State your intent. You barge into these lands, and yet you do not know who holds them? I am. My people are Colossi. For years we have held these lands as the hallowed grounds of our gods. We are stone and flesh, sword and faith. Everything does harm in these lands. I do not know you, so why should I take you at your word? Furthermore, none have come from those caverns since they were sealed, save you. How is it you came here? It is a road that has gone otherwise unwalked since it was sealed. How did you walk this path? Strange entity. A curious riddle, but one that must be solved later. It seems the Jotun have rallied their strength. Steel yourself. That was well fought, little friend. You have a strength in your arms that belies their lack of girth. Perhaps you are not the interloper I believed you to be. You claim to have been summoned. But for what purpose? We have come, little one, from savage lands and savage past. We have been picked by the gods to carry their will across this world. And now we inhabit this land, summoned by our gods to do their works, and who now are silent. I command the soldiers that protect my people, the Colossi, from the dangers of this land. They are many, and we are but few. Each passing year it seems more and more like we lose ground. But what can we do? We are commanded to stay here. The Jotun are a savage race, but their cruelty can be controlled as easily as it can be fostered. Before we came here, the Jotun were our wards, but that was a lifetime ago, and now they call for our heads. The Jotun are a savage race. Before we came here, the Jotun were... Before we came here, the Jotun were... It was an old passage built by my people as our faith demanded. Once, it was to lead to fertile woodlands. But we were commanded to stay our diggers, our masons. So we remain in the teeth. What strange forces brought you here? You speak of the Holy King of my people, and that artifact you bear. Could it be the cipher? Your mission is twice damned already. The Primos is a recluse. But more immediate than that is the Jotun horde. Idylla is sealed off as long as they continue plaguing my people. It is the city you see floating in the sky over this land of savages and dangers. It is my people's greatest accomplishment and failure. I cannot speak more of it to an outsider. Forgive me. A relic of great importance to those of my people that carry the faith. I thought it was just a myth, but one who carries the cipher is much loved by the gods. So the sages of my race say. A blessing as much as a curse. Yes, hiding away in his high tower and pining for gods that will never listen to him. The Primos is the highest office among the Colossi, reserved for the one that leads my people in politics and prayer. At least that is how things should be. But Anakatos, the latest to have this authority, has not lived up to his duties. Our people are stranded in a wild land, in a time of our greatest doubt, and he locks himself away from us. Our ruler leaves us leaderless. The Jotun are led by Karunk, a warlord that reigns over his horde from his ramshackle tower. One of my scouts, Remy's, watches them now. He can offer you advice on fighting the warlord, and if you can kill Karunk, I will lead you to the Primos myself. The quickest way to end their threat would be to kill their war chief, Karunk. With his death, the others will be brought to heel. The warlord is cruelty incarnate. He has transformed the memory of my people's leadership into that of slavery, as if we possess such barbarity. He makes camp in the barbarous tower you see in the distance. He must be killed if this is to end. Keep it close to you. That artifact is proof to many that you are the avatar of the gods. It holds much power. It is a wonder to any mortal eyes, though because it is not good enough for the gods' tastes, we must call it a failure. And still we bear this bitter truth every morning, and by every sundown it seems liable to crush us under its weight. Bring word to the city. They will need to know about the Jotun and this new interloper.
Ah! What a horrid little thing you are! Are you some kind of Jotun runt? Explain yourself quickly. The last thing I want is to give away my position. That much I was aware of, and I knew Sikandra would send someone. But you? A sign of the times, to be sure, but if you're to do the deed, then I have information that you will need. Karunk is truly powerful, but no more so than his brethren. It is not his strength that's troubling. It's his fortitude. 2 kobolds he keeps with him work some strange magics. that heal his wounds and help him resist injury. Kill them, and the fight is yours. Using primal magic would certainly help as well. Strange thing, aren't you? Primal magic is a magic imbued upon weapons and gems. Only armament can channel it. The magic does some damage on its own, but its true strength is its ability to augment other magics you cast on your foe to a devastating degree. Take this weapon. Use it to inflict primal magic on a foe and let loose your spells. Even a Jotun warlord could not withstand such an onslaught. It is an older form of magic, one that does little damage on its own, but can wreak havoc when combined with elemental spells. Using weapons infused with primal magic, you can increase your foe's magical sensitivity. Even a troll's hide will have its resistances sapped. Imagine loosing your most damaging spells with no resistances. Few would survive such an onslaught. She is a competent warrior and good leader, but she's served the city almost non-stop since she became the captain of the guard. Every day she seems more strained than the day before. How long can she continue serving the city? I am a scout for the Idilla Guard. There are many dangers that lurk in the corners of this land. My job is to root them out. They gorge themselves daily. They fight at the slightest provocation. They pride themselves on their odor. Are these truly the menace to our society? I have seen him rip a spear from his belly without so much as a grunt. We thought he might just not feel pain, but I know his secret. Be careful. Who? Oh, my apologies. I have yet to become used to looking down. Very well, little one.
I had heard. From Remy's, I received word that one such as you entered Karunk's tower with no trepidation, no anxiety. Do I even have to ask? Does the war chief still draw breath? It was said the gods would call their champion, and here you are bearing the cipher, seeking the Primos. If you have learned something of primal magic, this staff may be of value to you. Take it with my thanks for your role in killing the warlord. Now my forces can put the rest of the Jotun to the spear beckoned. Before this day, I thought it was just a myth, a lie my people told ourselves to make our sins more bearable. The beckoned is a deliverer. The beckoned speaks for the gods. The beckoned is their messenger, their conduit. What is the beckoned? One who carries the cipher, the icon of the gods. One who faces the troubles of my people without hesitancy. The beckoned is you. With their leader dead, they will likely keep to themselves and lose the will to harry my people as they have. I will wager that they won't suffer incursions into their camp, for good or ill, but still they have caused my people suffering. Shall we wait and allow them to inevitably rise again? This is our best opportunity to finish them. I owe you much for killing Karunk beckoned, so I will do as you say. I only hope you do not reap bitter fruit from your generosity. Now I will take you to the henge, and then to the Primos, as I promised. An artifact my people made. With the city in the sky, we knew we needed a way to travel from the teeth and back. The energies it focuses are the same as those that keep the city aloft. They can levitate people and objects safely. The Primos is our ruler, and the most devout of the Colossi. For example, our current Primos, Anakatos, has sequestered himself away from our people in prayer for years. Meanwhile, we are threatened every day, and because of Anakatos' extreme measures, we lack guidance. Be cautious in these lands. Here, beckoned. This artifact you see before us is a henge. We use it to transport to the city. It may be uncomfortable at first. I still recall retching after my first journey with it. But it is the only way into the city. I have thought on your decision to spare the Jotun, and how our intolerance exposes our hypocrisy. At first I saw no reason for it. The Jotun are cruel and savage. Then I realized that we Colossi were that way once, until someone gave us a chance. Be cautious in these lands. visit. And here you have it, Idylla, our great failing. Now let us go to Anakatos. He may hide from our people's needs, but he will not refuse a visitor sent from Athene. The gods choose the Primos to lead we Colossi, and to enact their will. Of the gods, we are the favored of Athene, the goddess of wisdom. Or we were. Athene's once common words have been quiet for some time. The Primos has prayed in isolation for years, but she does not answer. The goddess of wisdom was our patron. Though my people worship all the Titans, they hold Athene as our personal guardian. But the gods do not look to us or listen to us. What manner of patron neglects their charge, leaves their wards to the wilderness? We are adrift in these lands, I must admit. We might have been great enough to overcome the burdens, but now we cannot. Now that the trouble with the Jotun has been solved, I am free to investigate other threats to my people, and there are many options to choose from. Very well.
Please, just let me past. I will only be gone for a short while.
You know why you cannot leave. Without you, the city could never be completed.
You cannot keep me here against my will. I am not some animal.
You know it is far too dangerous for you to leave.
My business in the teeth of Naros is no concern of yours. Others may come and go as they please. I demand the same respect.
No, Passator. It is not safe out there. You must remain in the city. That is final. How are you finding our city? Is it not wondrous? I am sworn to protect the people of this city before all else. Each member of the Guard would lay down their life for our people. Truly, it is worth protection. With the trials my people went through to raise it into the sky, it has become more precious than gold. But these earthly costs are nothing compared to the rewards that will come to us. I know it. The concourse is the main hub of our city. It is a place of gathering and prayer. However, it has been quiet since the great tragedy. I am sorry. I cannot say more. Visit the market if you need supplies.
What is it? Unless you can somehow convince the guards to let me leave the city, you're only wasting my time. I'm sorry. It just makes you a little crazed, you see, being locked inside this city like a penned animal. All I want is to leave for a short time to travel to the Warren and check on my wife, Galatea. But I cannot leave. I am one of Idylla's finest masons. So much so that it seems I am an institution amongst my people. It seemed nice at first, but they handle me like a work of art, with too much caution. This city is the child I never had. I poured myself into this stone, these edifices, these reliefs. But now I have been here so long that these walls have lost their charm. They are only the bars of a prison to me. My wife and I were separated when the city was razed. I believe her to still be in the teeth of Naros. I hope she is unharmed. The stone used to build this city was dug out from the Warren. It was our main quarry. but much of it is inaccessible now. The rest is home to beasts. I did not choose to leave her beckoned. I wanted her to come with me, but she can be difficult to move to action sometimes. But I cannot retrieve her now, for I am one of the city's finest masons. The guard are under orders not to let me leave, so I do not die. All I want to know is that she is unharmed, but I've done so well for this city that I am forbidden from departing. Well, you can certainly try, but Galatea is stubborn as stone. Would you truly beckon? That is something. At least I will be certain that she is unharmed. I left her in the ruins of the Warren, the city's old quarry. You should search there for her. We were separated when the city was ready. Please find my wife.
Be careful here. Though the Jotun have wronged us in the past, the gods wish us to show them mercy.
When we came to this land, I thought it was a place of
Careful here.
The Primos has made it clear that he is not to be disturbed.
Beckoned. I cannot say you are what I envisioned, but I know better than to judge the god's chosen one. Faith keeps most of our laws enforced, but I handle the ones not worthy of our god's close care. Would that we could cut ourselves off from it entirely, but though few will call it such, this is our true homeland. You will not lay eyes on a greater city in Amalur. It was a beauty on the ground, and is now only more beautiful that it has been raised into the clouds. Stay alert, Beckoned.
I almost did not see you.
You'd best watch yourself if you roam.
And it would seem that the deliverer of my people has found me at last. Many honored greetings to you, Beckoned. If you would, I have more than pleasantries to discuss. Like many, I seek your prowess. I have lost much to the beasts of this land. I aim to ensure that none share this sorrow. Looking at the colossi here, you will find we have it in ourselves to be truly great. But we are also capable of much violence. It is a grand city, worthy of protection. I strive to guard its citizens from the menaces below us, in the teeth of Naros. The beacon shows the path the Colossi must walk again, so it has always been claimed. A culling. Though the Colossi are a people of faith, more and more of us are reverting to the savage ways of our ancestors. The lowest of these doubters become marauders, bloodthirsty and violent, capable of nothing but wrath. They must be purged. I thank you. It is high time we bring their savagery to an end. Each marauder should carry a totem of some sort. Bring those to me as proof of your deeds. They roam the lands below the city. I do not doubt that you will find them if you seek them out in the wilds. The marauders have lost their reason, but not their strength. If they catch you unawares, you will not have much time left.
The market's craftsmen are of the
You do so much for us, Beckoned. How great of you to come to our city. I am a member of the Guard, like any other. I am responsible for helping to manage the peace of the city. There are always things to look after in this city, but keeping busy is a good way to ignore a burdened spirit. There are always smaller items of inquiry or aid that the people of Idylla need. This board allows the community to assist them. We have many issues in our great city that need attention. We encourage all who wish to help to find a task suited to them on the nearby petition board. You may examine it, should you wish.
Athene, guide your actions. After all the miseries they have caused, I'm surprised that Jotun was
You must be the Beacon. This way leads to the Primos's sanctum and the Great Mural. I serve Secandra, as I have for years. Anything she requires, I deliver. She is swift, powerful, and decisive, truly worthy of her title. The Primos's sanctum lies beyond these stairs. Treat it with due respect, or be subject to Colossi law. The mural nearby is a reminder of why we are here, above the lesser races, through the grace of Athene and the gods. The gods were good to rip my people from their savagery, but I wonder how easily this gift might be taken away. We do not keep a prison in Idylla. We try our victims with our spears. The guilty are soon made clear. The city around us is a great feat, but what you see is less than what we originally intended to raise. You can find our catacombs carved into the land below, near Atilos Nixaros. These were once to be part of Idylla. I do not wish to take up your time, Beckoned.
Athene, guide your actions.
Mind your step here, Beckoned. I wouldn't want the Colosse's failure to claim any more lives than it already has. It is not here by choice. Or our choice, anyways. Such questions would be better suited for the Primo. Suffice it to say that this was made in anticipation of something that never occurred. Farewell.
Can the Beckoned be so small?
Beyond these stairs is the sanctuary of the Primos, the leader of the Colossi people in the teeth of Naros. I must warn you, Onokotos has not left these quarters in years. He vowed to never cease his prayers until the gods answered them, and his people have languished for it. But I think his answer has finally arrived. Speak to him, Beckoned. His people have need of him. After years in his sanctum, I doubt he is the Primos I once knew. But though we all languish in the god's absence, none suffer as he does. He will likely see you as the answer to his prayers. Farewell.
And how are you finding Idylla, Beckoned? We built it to be a great wonder of this world. It is the greatest city ever built. The gods themselves requested we built it to test our faith. The city soars above the ground, as you have seen, but it is not yet complete. Who knows if it ever will be? The greatest of us are nearly gods. And had the gods not shown us this, we might never have reached the state you see us in now. The Primos attends to his own affairs. I am usually wanting for additional tasks. Anokatos is most secretive compared to his predecessor, who was killed in the Hyperion tragedy. Still, he is our best hope for the Colossi to realize our goals. An odd question. They are gods. It is common knowledge that they are the creators of the Colossi, the creators of this world and everything in it. The great Athene is among their kind, and she has given us the task of inheriting the Titan's legacy now that they have ascended from this world. Be cautious in your travels. You will find Idylla possessing a unique...
And though the path be fraught with tribulation, know that it leads to the land of our greatness, and that we walk it with you. Such were the words the gods spoke to the progenitor of my race when they sought to guide us from our base origins into a fruition of potential. The words have been in my heart every day of my reign, but now they are embodied. Welcome, beckoned. At last, this city will be complete. I am the Primos of the Colossi people. As I lead them in politics, I lead them in prayer. The messenger of the gods, one summoned to bring the word of faith back to our people. I always assumed that the beckoned would be one of my own kind, but you bear the cipher. Your role cannot be made more clear. Many are the artifacts strewn throughout this world, but the cipher of Athene, I have seen its outline traced in tomes and scrolls, but never in person. Bearing it makes you an embodiment of her power, beckoned. She sees and hears through you. The goddess has shepherded my people for generations. She was responsible for the growth of my people. Somehow, we were found unworthy of her. I have prayed to learn why, but her anger must be far too great. This land is the crucible by which my people might be forged to their new destiny. Vicious and inhospitable, it rebukes my people's every step. The Colossi are the children of the Titans. We are the inheritors of their will, and we are the ones that will shepherd this world into a new age. This is greater than any city or any temple that you will find in this world. Of that I assure you. But the city, though magnificent, is only half completed. Because we are all of us, my whole people, incomplete. Because we are not worthy enough, not deserving enough to see such wonders of the gods. And I thought that failure was a finality. I have prayed to the gods in seclusion in hopes of an answer, but they were as quiet as the silent choir. Now the beckoned is come. With you, the gods can bear witness to us atoning for our inadequacies. We must start at once, beginning with the wreath of absolution. Something no Primos would ever wish to wear. They are only made in times of great need, and we must prove to the gods our devotion. The wreath of absolution can only be created from the hands guided by Athene. I must ask you to assemble it. First, a golden prayer circlet is needed to serve as its base. The art of crafting one is all but lost to us, but I require one all the same. The last Primos to wear a wreath of absolution, Arches, is buried with one such circlet. Secandra led you to me, did she not? Then she will lead you to the circlet. It lies in his crypt. in the darkest pits beneath the city. They are old halls, and they have fallen into disuse. I understand there might be trepidations in taking such an artifact from my predecessor's crypt, but I assure you, it is ordained. The times we have arrived at are desperate, and when the heavens show their intent, one cannot stand too much on ceremony. It lies. I understand there might be. The times we have arrived at are desperate, and when the heavens show, the Silent Choir is a group of our most faithful followers, and serve me as I serve the gods. So deep is their faith that they never speak upon entering service. He led my people into the times that you see today. The gods did not favor his reign, clearly. The end of this awaits. Well met once more, beckoned. Seek out we must act.
You return. Well, the Primos has not graced the ears of his subjects in ages. What has he said to you? The Circlet of Arcase. And Anarchatos expects me to lead you to it? Has his reclusion left him senseless? Has he forgotten his history as well as his people? Very well. As I cannot refuse the Primos, I will meet you in the crypts, in the undersewers of the city. Let us deal with this as quickly as possible. We can find it in the crypts beneath the city. They are old structures, forgotten as the city was built above them. You are the first to hear his voice in some time. I almost thought he would join his acolytes in their silent pact. But his prolonged absence from his people has taken its toll on his judgment. Does the crypt of Arcase have no sanctity to him? I've had chances to speak of Arcase before, but it is not fitting for me to discuss him. Not now. Farewell.
You must be strong to have earned Secundus.
beckoned! Can I interest you in a potion? The life of the beckoned must be strenuous. Perhaps an elixir would help. Not many of my kind are drawn to horticulture, but it teaches me patience and satisfaction. There are miracles, great and small, to be seen in this world if you know where to look. But the gods had no use for subtlety with us. Look at this city. You can see their love of us. The plants of the teeth are strange compared to those from our original homeland. They require much attention and deft care, and as I've found, tiny hands. You would make a good apothecary, I wager. Be careful out there, Beckoned. I can help repair your equipment. What can I do for you, Beckoned? My days as a guard are behind me, but I know my way around arms and armor. I can patch it all up. I was one of the first to settle in Idylla, and I will be the last to leave if it ever comes to that. Many pine for our home of old, but not me. The clouds are my refuge now. Everything one requires, one will find in the concourse market. Weapons, armors, and healing implements. Farewell.
Welcome to the Idylla Market, Beckoned. Can I interest you in a freshly honed weapon? I construct weapons, and then I sell them. Most colossi are uncomfortable with their hands unfilled, so I endeavor to fill them. Would you like one? A weapon, I mean. Your hands are small. Our city didn't always have a place among the clouds, but colossi ingenuity changed that. While it saves us from the wilds, it is my weapons that save the guard down below. We prefer the spear, for it suits us most in these lands, against this wilderness. But our travels have taken us many places, and I can craft weapons of every shape, and all are equally deadly. Fare you well, Beckoned.
Can I interest you in some armor? Take heed in these lands, Beckoned. The Jotun, Trolls, and Terex will not spare you given the chance. Armor is my passion, my livelihood. No one in all of Idylla can provide protection of higher quality. I am reputed with good reason. Though our skin looks like stone, we are but flesh. As any mortal race, we need armor to protect ourselves. There is no finer city than this. Have you seen any other place in Amalur that can match our horizon? Have you found streets more pristine and appealing? You have not, because that is an impossibility. With my armor, you have nothing to fear.
A finer sagecrafter there is not. Ah, the Beckoned. You won't find a better sagecrafter in all of Idylla than me. Attention to detail is not overly common amongst the colossi. Much can escape the notice of one so elevated. But the facets and powers of my gems hold so much meaning and power. How could I ignore them? There is a lesson in sagecrafting. Even the smallest jewel can turn a common sword into a deadly weapon. This city is a promise between us and the gods, but it is also a promise between us and the races of Amalur. My people will grow into the majesty of this city, and with the empire to come, We will spread the gods' light.
The finest magical craft. Please peruse my wares, beckoned. Though magic is new to our people, I can craft fine artifacts for it. I bear my skill proudly. There are those that stand by their spears, but even our greatest warriors acknowledge the worth of magic. Our ancestor race, the Myru, had no skill with magic. You can see how much we've progressed. With our arcane skill, we set this whole city to float among the clouds. But such ability must be tempered with appropriate humility, so the Primos has taught. I do not envy his position. He must lead us after his predecessor's grave mishaps. However, he will bring much glory to our people should his goal be realized. I will be here if you need. I am sure you shall find some... something in my stock. I will be here if you need.
Even we Colossi do not venture into the lower sewer without cause, Beckoned. I recommend you avoid them as well. Mine is the duty to safeguard the Colossi from any threat, so Secondra has charged all the guard. I understand that you and she have met. She is powerful, is she not? Truly a paragon of might and virtue. The Primos is the leader of our people in prayer and in other matters of life. They are appointed by Athene herself. Lawbreakers in Idylla do not enjoy the luxury of internment. All lawbreakers are immediately subjected to combat. It may seem severe, but we are a wise people. None have had need to test this punishment, least of all you, I am sure. Tread carefully if you are heading into the sewers.
The Beckoned. Greetings.
You must be strong to have owned Secondra.
Beckoned? It seems my preconceptions were off. But I still need your divine aid. The plague spreads. I have worked on this city for all my lifetime. The sewers that run below it are my masterpiece. But this work of art is besmirched by rats. These foul vermin run rampant in my catacombs, tainting it with their fetid presence. Try as I might, I cannot best the scourge. But you, Beckoned, your divine intervention is needed. I have never known beasts with such low cunning and high birth rates. They are fearless as they are disgusting. I have pinpointed a much-traveled route used by the rats and seeded it with traps that can be activated on command. Find the levers that activate those traps. They've been placed on a ledge overlooking the route. When you see the rats pass below, simply pull the levers as they approach the traps. Slay the filthy vermin. Once I hunted the rats that plague our sewers with such zeal. But I have worked myself to exhaustion, and am forced to rest here. Though I rest, the rats do not. Please, find the traps I laid in the sewer, and lay waste to them. I am a mason, one of many caretakers of the sewers. Are you enjoying its splendors? This fair city is rich with them. Even in the sewers, under its gleaming exterior, lies a feat of engineering unrivaled by other cities in Amalur. A hidden menace, the secret horde. Though few acknowledge them, the rats are the great threat to this city. In my younger days, I hunted the vermin with a force of will unequaled by the greatest of the theologians in the Lycaeus. The Lycaeus breeds thinkers, philosophers. They spend their days pondering the greater meaning of existence. Such are their debates that they shake the very foundations of... For some time, non-believers have touted that the relevance of the Lycaeus has passed. But I'm confident all it needs is one brilliant lecturer to stoke its fires. I wish you well. How may I serve?
You'd best watch yourself.
After all my labors,
I expected the beckoned would arrive sooner or later. The marauders grow in numbers daily. Greetings, beckoned. Have you come to pass the time? If we wait long enough, Stratton might even have another play ready when we're done. Like Stratton and Andronicus before him, I am a writer. But I tend towards essays and dissertations rather than metaphor and prose to deliver my messages. I was a close friend of Andronicus. I have reviewed every production displayed in his theater for those not in attendance. In the years since, I have been told that I've been unkind to Stratton, but I beg to differ. I am honest. I have mixed feelings for our dear playwright. He was once the tragedian prodigy of Andronicus himself. Many looked to him to fill the master's shoes when Andronicus died. Most believe Stratton has succeeded. I am unconvinced. A mighty playwright, Andronicus knew that the gods would be pleased should our art reflect their majesty. Much like Idylla itself, the theater was constructed as much for its utility as it was as a tribute to Athene. I plan to attend, as I do with all the productions held in the city, though my hopes for it are not high. I'll not take up any more of your time.
Beckoned? Do we have some business? With my brother indisposing himself, it falls to me to keep watch over my family's estate, little though it is. Look at this place. Why would anyone choose the wild below over this?
Ah, the famed beckoned comes to me at last. Admittedly, my request might be the smallest you will hear, but I wish to voice it nonetheless. I'm just one who's intent on maintaining the cultural integrity of her people. We were once no nobler than the Jotun or the Etin. Some would purge this history, but then how will we remember it? How do you find our city, Beckoned? Grand, is it not? It is the great island of progress, as I see it. But even it cannot forget the world it left below. All the rocks you see, here and in the sewers, once rested in the teeth of Naros. This is a place for those who are weary of their burdens. If you feel so, you can rest for a while. I do not forget Arcades, or what he did for my people. He led us here and started this city, but most cannot see past his flaws. To preserve the past, all around us is the great chisel and hammer of progress, keen on dragging my people towards enlightenment. But such progress means nothing without context. I wish for someone who can find artifacts of my ancestors, reminders of our simpler times. Very good. I'll reward you for any artifacts you can find, but larger artifacts will do well for both of us. I await your findings. They are strewn throughout the teeth of Naros. They may be hidden in forgotten corners or carried by beasts as trophies. They are little things, of no intrinsic value. But as my people are so convinced to make progress, these artifacts are the few records of who we once were. Be careful with them. I expected the beacon would arise. Welcome to the living quarters, Beckoned. I make sure the beds are swept, and that any who need aid receive it. My people have long led lives that inflict a certain strain on the body. As you may have seen, even in our city among the clouds, danger persists. Thus we maintain the living quarters as a place of rest, open to all. Our city has hung in the heavens for a time now, but it remains incomplete. Idilla's centerpiece, the Hyperion, rejected our magics and refuses to rise. You carry our hope across the sea.
Though the Jotun have wronged us in the past,
Incredible. You must be the Beckoned. What are you doing here? I am a frequent patron of the theater, but I grow tired of Stratton's work. When will Irina produce something? I've seen the bulk of his works. They are often pretentious and bloody. I enjoyed Andronikos' satires myself. It knew better days, I think. The current master, Stratton, can keep the people entertained, but not musing. It is a place of respite, or a monument to the god of boredom. Count the columns, or the straws in the bed if you need something to do. Or, better yet, get out of here. May your journey end well.
I almost did not see.
Greetings.
All is well.
Many greetings beckoned. If they stay alert, beckoned.
Be careful here.
For what purpose do you come to the theater? Are you hoping to attend a performance? I am the custodian of the theater. Stratton concerns himself with the art, and I, the material. And I handle the audience as well. If they are rude, I eject them with impunity. The story of my people is the stuff of great theater, in a way. From humble beginnings, we're to ascend to the highest station in Amalur. It is a popular locale for many, and we gain more followers every day. Master Stratton's plays invoke the imagination and spirit of the Colossi such that few can resist. The Master is the playwright who runs the theater, and uses it to house his productions. With just a few tragedians and a manuscript, he is quite capable of rendering any historical scene in exquisite detail and vibrancy up on that stage. He gains influence daily, and I am certain his is the mind that will lead the Colossi into a new age of enlightenment. After seeing our art, why not go to the market?
Well, it seems that Stratton isn't releasing his play anytime soon.
Enter the beckoned. Many are waiting in anticipation for Stratton's work, but he insists the work will not be ready until a grand fit of inspiration comes. I have a sprawling range as a tragedian, I assure you, but I require the chance to prove it. Perhaps the humbled is my great opportunity. I am not blind to the fact that our city has a troubled past. There is little we tragedians can do about it save continue to perform for our audiences. This is as much a temple as a theater, erected in the honor of the craft. There is no greater celebration of plays in all of Amalur. Enjoy the theater of Andronikos.
Well, I have not acted in some time. I am eager to know when my next performance is. In truth, I find the tragedies we've made recently to be rather dreary. I prefer satires myself. The Humbled seems an interesting production. There is an opportunity for much, if some of the tone is changed. Athene is the goddess of wisdom, but she is also a goddess of art. We must appease this aspect of her nature as well. As it does not involve true might, the profundity of theatre is lost on my brethren, but the spectacle is still enjoyed. It's a great accomplishment, to be sure, but I think that my people often forget that we are the project of the gods, not this city. That is why I focus on theatre, Rather than focusing on the city, we should be focusing on ourselves. I will not lie. Earlier in my career, I played the beckoned, though I believe I took the role in a different direction. Enjoy your stay.
I hope you find the city to your liking, Beckoned. I am a tragedian of several years. I have often been cast as the villain, and I'm rather ashamed to find myself comfortable in such a role. Of course, you must exercise all of yourself to attain true strength. I long to try other roles, but I am unsure where to start. Stratton loves this place. I think he has some qualms with living up to his forebearer, Andronikos, but he still tries. While these halls are to serve as a home for all forms of the art of stage, tragedy is what usually abounds here. There are a few of us that devote ourselves to the art, mostly just the ones you see milling around here listlessly. While these halls are to serve as a home, there are a few of us that devote You honor us with your presence.
Yes? There is so much that needs to be done for my new work. Will I ever see the end of it? I was a tragedian before I became the master playwright I am today, studying under Andronikos himself. No one knows more than I do about literature and Colossi theatre. Except, perhaps, for Master Andronikos, but he is, unfortunately, no longer with us. I despair that he will never see the productions I have written since his passing. Despite all I have accomplished, I feel that I am still working to crawl out from under his shadow. Perhaps with my newest play, The Humbled, I can finally do so. He was my mentor. I apprenticed as a tragedian under Andronikos. I sharpened his quills, blotted his parchment, and here I am today. The fine establishment you see here is the Theatre of Andronikos. We tragedians and our loyal audience are the cultural center of Idylla. Questions of ethics, morals, and cultivation are explored through the metaphor of my plays. Entire worlds are created and destroyed on that stage behind me. A greater subject for my work I cannot think of. How intricate my people are, with their vulnerabilities and strengths. I had written a piece for him, The Unanswered. Unfinished, but unplayable. It was too bitter. Farewell.
Please, do not disturb the tragedy.
The beckoned has come.
You must be the beckoned.
Greetings, Beckoned. Are you here to debate?